Good afternoon and many thanks for making time on this Monday holiday. It is the 21st day and severing what is left of the Mashujaa Day. My name is Bonney, Tunya, and this is KTN News Desk.
Well, it is indeed news as it happens. We've just wound up an interview with Shollei. We'll bring you the highlights of that. Also, the ICC trials proceeding this afternoon. We have all the details coming up shortly.
Also, we'll take you around the country to take a look at how everyone else celebrated Mashujaa Day. Stay tuned. As alluded by Edith Kimani earlier on, we had witnessed a presser by the embattled former Chief Registrar of the High Court, that is Shollei, and she was basically answering to allegations leveled against her by the JSC, as well as the action by JSC to dismiss her of her duties. And here is what she said.
Not lost any money. There has been no corruption in the judiciary. All that has happened is that the Judiciary Administrative Team has implemented programs under the Judiciary Transformation Framework. The Judicial Service Commission laid allegations against me on the 10th of September, alleging 1.2 billion shillings loss. But before that, the Nation Media Group had set out that there was 5 billion. The figure reduced to 1.2 billion. Then finally, recently, it seems to have come to about 2 point something. This is the law of the jungle. It is the mathematics of defenders of corruption. It is the mathematics of everything that is not transparent. The judiciary has not lost any money. If the judiciary had lost any money, the first point of contact would have been the Internal Auditor General, who has 6 internal auditors within our offices, and who no payment can be processed without their clearance. And even if we did, within exactly 1 week, we would have questions from the Internal Auditor General. Some of the issues they raised have already been cleared to the satisfaction of the Internal Auditor General. Yeah. The other, when they talk about things like, when you rent buildings, is there a loss? We've paid the rent. In any case, all those buildings were rented through an open tender process by advertisement in all the dailies, and have been paid within the market rates advised by the market forces and the set market rates. We all know how much it is per square foot in Upper Hill. The judiciary is paying that at 90 shillings for that particular building. The Judicial Service Commission arbitrarily took a building themselves, which is costing 124 shillings per square foot, which they did not even advertise. So who is the dishonest person here? In fact, curiously, the building was sought by Emilio Minde and Hamed Nasir without using the tender committee of the judiciary. That in itself is a crime. In our case, we have committed no crime. Lastly, when you look at the buildings that the judiciary leased, which they amount to the 1.2 billion shillings, of the 20 leases, only 3 are from private developers or owners. The remaining ones are owned by the Agricultural Finance Corporation, a public entity, a semi-autonomous state corporation. The question is, how do you lose money when it moves from one government account to another government account? Yeah, that cannot be corruption. Also, if you recall, when all this began, I personally welcomed a probe in the interest of transparency. I personally, long before the Judicial Service Commission did so, I called for the Public Procurement Oversight Authority, the EACC, the Internal Auditor General, the Auditor General, all of them to come in, who had engaged in the process of checking all of us as public servants, and who are designated to check financial management and procurement within the judiciary. We asked that they must come in, probe first, and JSC can thereafter take action against me. The JSC was not interested.
Now, what you've just witnessed was the first time the former Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Shollei, is answering to allegations of the JSC that resulted into her imminent dismissal late last week. And a lot of Kenyans are asking questions. No one knows exactly who is speaking the right or wrong, but Ben Kitili has been following that story. Ben, paint to us a clearer picture of exactly what is happening and where has this come from?
Of course, we did see that press conference on Friday where the chairman of the JSC, Chief Justice Willie Mutunga, announced that the JSC had sacked Shollei And of course, they did say, Mutunga did allude to the fact that there were around 87 allegations leveled against Gladys Shollei, and that she did in fact reject 38 of them and admit to 33 of those allegations. Well, what we've just heard from the former registrar of the Judiciary, Gladys Shollei, is that she has stated very categorically that she has never admitted to any charge leveled against her by the Judicial Service Commission, so that she has accused the Judicial Service Commission of being dishonest and of course not following the rule of law, and of course that is a big statement with this war that has been ongoing in the judiciary. That is of course something that Kenyans will be wanting to know what really happened, because Gladys Shollei says she has never admitted to any charge level against her, and that what the JSC said on Friday through the chairman, of course, Chief Justice Willie Mutunga, is a white lie. Of course, Mutunga said there were 87 allegations leveled against Shollei. She did deny 38 of them and admit to 33 of them. That is what the Judicial Service Commission said on Friday. Of course, she has talked about a myriad of issues, as you've just heard from herself, talking about the issues that were supposed to be talked about during this whole process. She has said that her services were terminated even before the process could start. Remember, at first she was told it was an investigatory kind of process, but later on it became a kind of disciplinary kind of process. That is what she says she cannot understand, that she was not given the platform and time to be able to answer some of those questions. She did question the jurisdiction of this whole process. She did question the process as well. Bonney.
Ben, allow me to jump in. Last week, what was in contention was whether the JSC had the jurisdiction to even hear her out, and there was argument of whether it should be in camera or in public. But then, towards the end of last week, Shollei was dismissed. What does this do to that course of action that was being taken? Do we still have these hearings, or what next?
Well, she says, as it stands now, and she says she's baffled by the whole issue, is that her services are terminated. So she did say that she did request for all that. She did request for that public hearing, as you're saying, Bonney. She did request for the right to be able to call witnesses, because she says she had lined up a number of individuals from the judiciary, of course, to be able to answer to some of those charges, to be able to testify in that particular kind of thing. But she says she is baffled. So at this point, Bonney, we do not know what will happen next, because her services as it stands are terminated. And she says she was explaining about what happened when she got that particular letter that her services were terminated. She says that ruling was written the way it was kind of prepared, it couldn't have been ready on the same day. That it was a decision, she says, that must have been made on prior to Friday. So she, of course, suspects foul play, and of course, she does not think, from what she has been saying of the Judicial Service Commission, that she will be able to get that platform to be able to explain herself and to answer to Kenyans. But she says she does not care, so to speak, if the Judicial Service Commission grants her that platform or not. She says she will do it anyway. She will find a way of doing it and answering to Kenyans, explaining to Kenyans what she believes is happened. She says she will call a press conference and tell Kenyans what really happened. Bonney.
Ben, besides just clearing out her name in the media, is there a role for Parliament probably to step into this?
Yes, Bonney, there is, of course, there is a different kind of process from what has been happening between Shollei and the Judicial Service Commission. There is another process by Parliament. Of course, there is talk of a petition, of course, to disband the Judicial Service Commission. There has been talk of that. We do not know how serious those members of Parliament are. She did say, of course, there have been reports from sections of the media that some of those members of those that are planning that petition been compromised by the Judicial Service Commission. Of course, those are allegations that we cannot confirm, but it has been out there in sections of the media. And of course, Gladys Shollei did also talk about it. She says that if those reports are true, it is unfortunate. She does not have the kind of money, she says, the GSC members can have. And of course, there is that talk of the petition that is said to be brought to Parliament to disband the GSC, but that is a different kind of process altogether. There has been a call by the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, that is a Budalangi Member of Parliament, Ababu Namamba, to the Auditor General to take a look at the judiciary and make sure answers are provided for what has been ongoing between the former Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Gladys Shollei, and the Judicial Service Commission, Bonney.
All right, Ben Kitili, we leave it a very complex matter indeed. And of course, KTN is on top of this story. We will be getting you legal experts to try and make sense of all this that is happening. But for now, over to Edith.
All right, let's have a look at another legal matter. This one happening at The Hague, where the trial proceedings against Deputy President William Ruto have resumed at the International Criminal Court. The fourth prosecution witness appeared before Trial Chamber 5A to be cross-examined by Ruto's defense team. Now, the witness was questioned over a statement that was written a week ago where he said that he had attended one of Ruto's rallies at 64 Stadium in Eldoret. The witness, however, denied having written such a statement and told the defense that he did not attend such a rally. The witness then went on to say he could not remember saying that Ruto referred to the Kikuyu community as Madoadoa.
I cannot confirm whether the allegations about Mr. Kibor are linked to allegations linked to Mr. William Ruto.
You know that there are allegations against Mr. Kibor, don't you?
Yes.
And you know that the allegations against Mr. Kibor include that he incited the commission of violence against the Kikuyus, don't you?
I cannot confirm the allegations because I have not seen it written or I have not read it anywhere.
Did you hear that these are the allegations against him, inciting violence?
What I know about Mr. Jackson Kibor is that he was once arrested by Kenya.
Well, that's another story that we have continued and will continue to follow for you. To education matters, and there was a clash of top officials at the Kenya National Union of Teachers after some members endorsed Wilson Sossion as their preferred candidate in the forthcoming elections.
Now, the members from Nyanza and Central expressed their support in the presence of Sosion's rival Mudzo Nzili. The leaders had attended the Chepkwelail annual general meeting in Eldoret, where Nzili was the chief guest.
Trouble started after Migori Executive Secretary Charles Kadege announced that Nyanza province supported Sosion's candidature. This led to a shouting match as Siaya Executive Secretary Clement Omolo denounced Kadege's statements.
Now, he said Nyanza will support Nzili instead. His claim sparked protests from Rift Valley NAT chairman Kuria Njao.
Are you getting it? There is no way I will give way to anybody. I love and respect my brother, the national chairman. I would love to work with him. But above all, the potentialities of an individual are demonstrated by the outcomes of his activities.
Staff at the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret have threatened to go on strike from November the 1st. Now, this follows claims that a reliable source indicated that agreed benefits will not be included in their October payroll as earlier promised by the government.
Now, the benefits are captured in a 1st July 2012 collective bargaining agreement. It includes an increase in basic salary by 24% that has already been effected alongside house, leave allowances and, of course, other arrears.
The Chapter Secretary General Walter Siembo said the 14th of August strike notice remains valid and the over 3,000 members will down their tools on November without further reference to the employer.
The Kenya Union of Domestic Hotels, Educational Institutions and Hospitals, MTRH chapter, signed a memorandum of understanding with the Labour and Health Ministers on 30th August. They agreed to suspend the 14th August 2013 strike notice intended to be implemented on September 2nd.
The union makes us strong.
One, that the signed memorandum of understanding between the two parties only suspended the strike, and should it fail to be followed, then the strike will take off on 1st November 2013 without any further reference to the other party. That the authority of the Secretary General by its 14th August 2013 notice shall not be sought again to facilitate 1st November 2013 action.
It is only 10 days to go to end the month. There is no communication as far as the management is concerned about this money. Is there likelihood that the management is going to implement through the government of Kenya? We are worried.
Family and friends of inmates at the Committee Maximum Prison spent Mashujaa Day with their jailed kin. Now, there was a rare opportunity for entertainment and quality time for the families at the prison. Speaking at the event, Nairobi Senator Mike Mbuvi Sonko preached a message of hope to the inmates, urging them to be citizens of goodwill.
Mwenyezi Mungu akiwajalia kutoka, na kama huna mbele na nyuma na uko na talanta, mimi najitolea. Mujipange kimakundi, kama mmeachiliwa hata kama ni 30 40, kujeni kwa ofisi yangu. Niletee proposal ya ule ujuzi ambayo uko nao. Kwa hivyo tafadhalini, mkitoka hapa mkuwe raia wema.
On the flip side of that, about 200 police officers in Nakuru County were yesterday treated to a luncheon by the Sarova hotels in recognition of their service to the public. Speaking at Bonney Police Station, Sarova Lion Hill Game Lodge manager Ken Korir said this will motivate the police, who are often criticized and rarely appreciated. Nakuru OCPD Bernard Kioko expressed his gratitude and conceded that one of their greatest challenges is to fight crime in Nakuru. In about 4 months, Nakuru police have gunned down over 10 suspected criminals.
We also feel we are recognized as Masujas in Nakuru. The kind of the work we are doing, the challenges we are facing every day, we have not seen any people coming to recognize us except Sarova. So we can also say Sarova is also our hero, because he has spent his resources to fight us. It is a very big party that they have hosted in honor of us, National Police Service in Nakuru.
I'm sure they did enjoy, like the OCPD said, and hopefully we're going to make this an annual event, that every 10th of October we're going to be doing this.
So how did you spend your Mashujaa Day?
I wanted to ask, who is your Mashujaa before you ask that?
Who is my one Shujaa or many Shujaas?
Well, they kept saying it, who is your Mashujaa, so I just picked it up.
You're my Shujaa.
Now, there was pomp and color in ceremonies to mark Mashujaa Day yesterday. However, most counties recorded a poor turnout. Betty Kialo has all those details.
Kisumu County, the celebrations were marked with dance from various youth groups in the county. However, there was a low turnout of Kenyans marking the celebrations. In Bungoma County, Governor Kenneth Lusaka and the County Commissioner Mali Mohammed were joined by other dignitaries to mark the celebrations. The leaders warned against tribal fighting, urging residents to live in harmony.
Kama sisi kama viongozi, surely we want to get leadership kupitia kwa njia kama hizo, haitatusaidia.
Mchezo ile unaendelea Bungoma County lazima ifike kikomo.
Still in the western region, Kakamega County Senator Bonney delved into the ICC question, saying that President Uhuru Kenyatta should attend his cases at the ICC and clear his name through the process.
Consequences of him not going to Hague are monumental. President, if indeed you are the president of the 42 million Kenyans, today make a decision uende usafishe jina yako Hague, ndio Wakenya wajue wewe ni rais wetu.
Security took center stage in Mombasa County, with leaders asking the government to boost security in the county in light of the recent killings and attacks.
Kindly arrest all those who spread terror in the name of religion. Kindly arrest those who are killing our religious leaders, be they be Muslims or Christians.
In Bomet County, Governor Isaac Ruto appealed to both the Senate and National Assembly to support devolution to ensure equitable distribution of resources to spur economic growth. Finally, in Garissa County, Commissioner Rashid Kator urged residents to embrace the Nyumba Kumi initiative and give information on criminal gangs. Betty Kyalo, KTN.
Let's just recap that it's no secret that the late Mzee Jomo Kenyatta had a soft spot for Kenya's coastal area.
Right, and tonight, or rather this afternoon, we take you to Msambweni to meet a family that hosted Mzee Jomo Kenyatta in his time at the coast.
A family in Msambweni prepares for its main meal of the day, the iftar, to break the fast. It's the month of Ramadan, a special month for Muslims worldwide. For the family of Mwana Juma Bakari, it has an added significance. Until he died 35 years ago, the late Mzee Jomo Kenyatta was a key part of the family's iftar. He would visit them for a popular coastal delicacy, the kaimati.
Tena ilikuwa akipenda sana, akisema ni mti gani huno? Mti ambao unajulikana kama kaimati, na ni kaimati hata sasa hivi naweza kukufanyia pia ukauliza ni mti gani huno.
It was common knowledge that the late Kenyatta had a special fondness for the coast. Some of the residents still hold dear the memories of their interaction with Kenya's founding father.
Atupiki vyakula, saa kama zi askari azunguka. Tuende kwenye mkutano wa Kenyatta.
Mwanajuma's family extended that connection to the naming of her daughter. Her name Mitingi is derived from the English word meeting, the numerous meeting held prior to Kenya's attainment of independence. Mitingi is Mwanajuma's firstborn. She was born in 1963.
Mitingi ya kuhusu uhuru, watu wapate uhuru. Silikuwa kuna mitingi na siasa hizi. Watu hawajapata lakini tupate nini? Uhuru wetu Kenya. Sasa ndio tumbo likaanza kuuma.
Sinajua kumbe mimi nilizaliwa wakati watu walikuwa wagombania uhuru wa Kenya, ndio nikapatikana siku hiyo. Kwa hiyo nafurahia sana hilo jina meeting.
Those meetings took place at a house that is only a few meters from Mwanajuma's. Here in Msambweni, they call it State House.
Nyumba yetu lakini ilikodishwa na wana siasa. Kufanyia siasa, kufanya mkutano wa KANU.
Residents say the late founding father was attracted to their place and music and dances, but there are those who claim he was one of their own, Adigo.
Kia kwamba alizaliwa Pwani. Sijui nasikia hivyo lakini sina hakika kwa kweli.
These are memories that will be passed from one generation to another. But their wish is that the government conserves this history. Angel Katuse, KTN.
Great, it is a good place to take a break, but remember the website you need to be reading is standardmedia.co.ke.
We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Right, and finally, I get a chance to be vindicated. I have my own Mashujana. If you visited Karura Forest, they've dedicated a garden. It's called Amani Garden for Westgate. So, I mean, whoever came up with that thought and just that spirit, that's my Mashujana.
That's your Mashujana.
Mashujana. Right, and all those people writing interesting things on Twitter. Gerard Kosgei said, blushing on national TV. No, I didn't do that, did I?
Absolutely.
Ahmed Papa says, Edith Kimani, now you just made Bonney Tunya blush on TV. You're my Mashuja.
Thank you very much. Let's give you the fact of the day before we wind up. I had it somewhere. Did you know researchers have calculated that DNA has a 521-year lifetime, half-life rather, meaning that the oldest clonable samples of DNA could be no more than 2 million years old. ruling out the possibility of replicating dinosaurs.
I don't know how you get this stuff. My name is Bonney, Tunya. Good afternoon.
And my name is Edith, Kimani. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. We'll see you tomorrow.